y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are. Whatever time it is when you listen to this, welcome to my channel. All right, so I'm about to do a real quick little reading, see exactly what we got going on right now. With the essence reading, I noticed, right, that there's a pattern for me. I don't know if it happens with other readers, but I definitely know it happened with me. Whenever one of my readings is locked, so to speak, is locked or set to private, right? It ultimately deters from certain things from happening, so to speak. Part of it, right? Yeah, part of it that I personally have noticed is because whoever would be trying to dominate some stuff, so to speak, yeah, they want me to do things in a particular way, and it's one of those, oh my God, no. So basically it'll be about the path, right? The path of manifestation, making sure that a particular individual will be on your path, and in addition to that, how it would be like the demand for connectivity, I'm assuming, right? And what it is that one would constitute as routine, what the routine for things would be, right? Uh, yeah, no, because one of the issues that kind of comes into place with uh, what it is that I've noticed that a lot of people just it's like it keeps going over their head, because I noticed that it happens in my life a lot, where if a person doesn't anchor certain things to, with, or for you, yeah, then it allows for the loop and the replay to keep going on. That's why I be trying to tell people, just, yeah, you don't have, everything don't have to be perfect. That be that. Honestly, to be real with you, perfection isn't a Virgo trait. I think people keep yeah, they accredit it to Virgo, but it really isn't, because every Virgo that I've ever really met, they're really not that organized. Um, and when you look at it, even in regards to the aspect of, they are overthinkers, but within being an overthinker, there lies the disorganization. So it's that part. The other portion of it, yeah, because they always have to work with people. That's that portion. The other part of it is Virgo being, within one looking inside themselves. It'll be about what priorities come into place and things of that nature. Yeah, no, because what I'm thinking is that it was in regards to yesterday. One of the things that's been happening with me a lot, I don't know if it's been happening with others, but one of the things it is that's been happening with me a whole lot is that I'll be dreaming. In my dream state, I'm in a different space, in a different place than where I am in my waking reality. So yeah, that's part of the whole being quote unquote caught in between two worlds. And it's like I'm not caught in between two worlds. I'm being blocked from actually being in that world. And in the shadow aspect of it all, yeah, that's part of the whole if it's a movie, yeah, that's really coming to me a lot right now. And Salma Hayek is in it, and so is it's another person. And it's also a part, it gives the feel of the Left Behind series, so to speak. Uh where uh basically the dude, right, they were taking some sort of drug, and you needed to take this particular drug. You, in short, you would have to overdose on the drug in order to get to the highest reality or whatever, so to speak, that'll come into place with it. And then the dude opposed to him doing the overdose on a drug and going to the other reality with, I want to say, with Selma Hayek. uh, he ended up going to rehab and all this other stuff. Basically, it's about the whole delusional aspect that'll come into place. One of the other things that was that happened yesterday, right, while I was out, was um, I was at St. Louis Public Library, and with that me being at the library, I guess I got to put the location on again. But with me being at the library, um, typically the library just comes right on as far as like the Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, yeah, it was one of the hotels around. It was its network was called Decide, right? Yeah, and it's one of those. Okay, I already made my decision. I'm at St. Louis Public Library, and this has the connection it is that I need. Why should I go to, yeah, why should I look into this whole decide aspect of, A, I don't know where that location is. B, it is one of those, A, I don't know where the location is. B, I would have to talk to someone in order to get the security clearance for it. And C, it would be me putting out unnecessary effort and essence into it, right? Yeah, that was something that was really bothersome in that experience yesterday, and it's one of those. In short, I've already made my decision. Why do you want me to log into or get to a network, so to speak, where I have to, or get to a space where I have to go through all of these channels and shit unnecessarily? Right? Yeah, that shit was bothering me. I was like, oh my goodness, why the fuck is y'all fucking with with the reality that I'm in currently? People have been doing that a whole lot. The other thing was, yeah, no, it's been a matter of the whole being in limbo and all this other stuff. It's one of those, I'm not in limbo. I haven't done anything to be in limbo, and I already made my decision. The primary thing is when you already make your decision and it's not accepted that the decision is made until you go into the actual place and space. That's that part. The other thing that it's really linked into is some dreams it was that I had some years ago. Uh, in a dream though, I was in a hotel. I've had this happen quite a few different times. Yeah, where I would be in different like hotels, and these motherfucking hotels is beautiful. Part of it would be the interconnectivity that comes into place with being spiritually connected to someone, and if like they're tired, so to speak, you can, yeah, you can tap into their essence a little bit better, a lot bit better when they're tired opposed to when they're energized. So yeah, so one of the things for those of us who are naturals at it, right? They say cancer typically has that astral projection as a trait, but a lot of people don't recognize that's more so like a water sign thing. Cancers just get the credit for it primarily, which really doesn't make sense. Yeah, because okay, so here's the deal. Because cancers, I actually have an affinity and appreciation for them. The problem that comes into place with them is they don't clear their cells out very well. They take on everybody else shit, and I say this all the time. So that's why in the higher vibration of things, it'd be one of those you're not taking care of yourself, and you expecting for others to know how to take care of you, but you don't know how to take care of yourself. That's not fair, right? The other part of it, right, that came into place, even with me just walking to the store, right, this morning, it was one of those coming out. It was a slight conversation, and the guy, he was like, why you looking so mean? It's one of those, are you gonna buy me a coffee? You're asking me about my demeanor. Are you gonna buy me a coffee? He was like, oh no, I can't buy you a coffee. I gotta go do this for my mom. It's one of those, okay, so you basically just inserted yourself into my life with your comment, and you not even capable of handling what it is that I would need to be handled because you're taking care of a parent, right? You're taking, yeah, if you taking care of your parent, why are you talking to me? In short, within the whole parental issues, on the business side, that'll be talking about the parent companies, right? And what would constitute as a parent company, and having parents as company. So yeah, there's that portion. The other part of it is, I find it ironic, right? Yeah, that only with the readings it is that I do, right? That this come up a whole lot. They want me to make, yeah, it's like they want me to do individual readings for them my, uh, via my, what they call this? Okay. uh Via my YouTube channels and all this other stuff, and you haven't requested in real life. You haven't anchored it. You haven't emailed me or none of that. So that'd be the reason. Yeah, that'd be the reason why I personally be having a whole bunch of problems with a lot of different situations and a lot of different things that could or would be going on, and the fact that I personally, yeah, everything in my situation is a little bit different. If you know, you know, right? If you don't, you don't. But uh, yeah, because I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that will be going on. I be having so much stuff, y'all, that be happening so much so to the point where I don't. It's just crazy. That's all. Yeah. I don't know because I don't want to necessarily say this is a destiny swap, so to speak. I don't want to say it's a destiny swap. This is something different. It's something completely fucking different. Um, that will be being dealt with. Since I'm talking about the other thing, right? We are in the ending aspects of Mercury retrograde, but we're also in that. All right, go ahead and say what you have to. One of the things is because I know that this isn't the first time that they've done this. They did this to me over on Facebook. They did it to me on Instagram. It didn't really fly on Instagram, but with them doing it on YouTube, yeah, they did this shit a long damn time ago uh, with me. So for me, it's one of those when I hear about certain stuff going on and I know it's pertaining to my uh, page or whatever, what have you, it's one of those, yeah, and I've done everything organically. Like I've had not workshops. I heard you haven't had no coffee yet. No, I haven't had coffee yet. I haven't had coffee. I haven't had anything it is that I would like to have right now. But again, it's set up that way because it's supposed to be the torturous aspect that comes into place. In addition to that, whoever is in my energy, right? Yeah, one of the things that happens with me when a person is in my energy too much, and yeah, I heard tell me how to fix it. Get me out of this reality is very simple. Pick me up. Come get me. That's how you get me the fuck up out of this. That's how you break it. That's how all that shit just dissipates. Stop trying to do everything on the magical aspect. This has nothing to do with the magic aspect. This has everything to do with how people easily get caught up. And oh my goodness, what is called? It's a type of psychosis, spiritual psychosis. Being caught up in spiritual psychosis when you get so caught up and wrapped up in the magic of everything and yeah, so much so to where you don't do anything in the 3D you expect for everything to happen on a magical sense. Yeah, people be thinking that I be playing, oh no, you just got this. No, I'm telling you what the hell to do. I told people that be the enjoyment that comes into place with a person being delusional. It is. And practicing being a practitioner and being delusional. That's why they like for it to happen so much. And the whole Saturn retrograde, right? Yeah, because ultimately what it just totally, right? It's one of those, yeah, you want to speak to a person, or a person wants to be able to speak to you and just drain you in that regard. Yeah, that's the game that keeps being played. I told y'all that, but don't nobody ever want to listen to nothing I say. Everybody want to do it. Oh, let me do this first. Let me do that first. No, stop, stop, stop doing all this other shit first. When this is what is important. That be the reason. I'll be honest with you. For me personally, that as I've gotten older, it lets me know the level of priority that comes into place with the spiritual contracts and what it is. It's one of those I've gotten everything out of it that I want already. Yeah, it's like I got everything that I could ever want out of it. And I haven't, in short, buying the milk or getting the milk from the cow without having to buy the cow is basically what this is boiling down to. And then y'all wonder why people worship Moloch and shit like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So ending, ruin, betrayal. I'm coming through the thought deck or the talk deck. The betrayal that comes into place with things. Within one not being protected. 7 weeks ago. How things would have ended several weeks ago. And it would have been a betrayal several weeks ago. With the influence of being a lover. Gemini. No, because what is given is one thinks, the thinking and the doing aspect that comes into place, right? And the overall aspect of lust, right? Lust or Virgo essence. Um, yeah, no, because one of the things is in establishing a 3D relationship. A lot of people make this mistake with the whole soulmate aspect and all this. Oh well, you're my soulmate, so that don't mean if I'm your soulmate and you don't like to wait for stuff. I'm using myself as an example, but it does stand true. I don't like to wait for what's mine. You're not gonna tell me it's mine, and you know that it's the same way with with any other person. It's the whole aspect of meeting the needs. Because if you aren't, yeah, that's what causes for. It's so much stuff that just like it's a lot of stuff that wants to come out. Whatever is going on with this energy, a lot of stuff just want to come out. Want to come out, and my right leg, like from the knee down, just yeah, it's like this excruciating pain. I'm like, okay, I haven't done anything. I haven't injured myself, so to speak. Yeah, I do connect to amputees. I connect to everybody and everything. I was just talking to the readings that I did yesterday and the day before were pertaining more so to dogs than it was to any fucking actual human. Now, whether that was actually the intention or that's just how it happened is irrelevant. But that's what it was that took place. So there's that portion. No, because the other portion of it will be about, oh, that's my dog. And you'll be amazed how many people are guilty of animal abuse. So there's that. But in the ambition of things, right? Yeah, the knowing more of it being betrayal. With lust, there being a betrayal in regards to there being a lover, Gemini, or in the communications that will come definitely in the communications of the path of the cycle being complete and there being adjustments to one's judgment, how one would balance out their judgment in work. No, because what it's given is the whole I'm working too hard. How one will work too hard. Okay, one of the things that I will say that I know to be so in my situation, I can't say this for other people star seeds. I can't say this for other star seeds. I can't say this for other people, period. Because even the villains deck wanted to come out. It's been wanting to come out for a while, but I was like, I don't really want to go into the villains deck because, yeah, because I have a healthy understanding of everything. So since I have a healthy, yes, and within me having a healthy understanding of the way everything happens, that gets abused a lot, and it makes the actual villains, and energy vampires think that it's okay for them to do fucked up shit to me. And then they get their asses kicked and handed to them, and then they be looking at me like, "But you said," it's one of those. Yeah, I have a healthy understanding, but the universe also has an understanding of me being the quote unquote towering aspect that would help shift things for you, that will give you the insight necessary so things can shift in your life. So it's that part. And the other portion of it would be the betrayal that comes with a person not being divinely inspired to be a lover, but is based out of lust. So it's that part. The other portion of it, yeah, this is with the whole knowing more aspect that comes into place with it. And within it, I heard, who is saying my name? Say whatever you have to. Yeah, no, because in this regard, with everything, these are a lot of major arcanas. So, in short, this is some stuff that's coming from the higher up, higher up. And in regard to the whole lust aspect, it'll be how the incoming protection that would come with being a lover. Yeah, in short, yeah, that person may be your lover, right? But they not here yet. And how, yeah, in 2211 when I said that, so I was, yeah, they may be the person you love or the person you want to be with, but they not here yet. They at work. So it's the theft and the attempted rape and robbery and all that other stuff. How you'll leave a person, yeah, leaving them hanging, yeah, leaving a person hanging. It don't matter. That be the shit talking portion that comes into place with it. Again, me personally, since I've dealt with this so long, that'll be another reason to end a contract with a person. You're not really trying to fulfill the contract in 3D. You just trying to make it look like you've done it, and you really haven't. So I don't know what that's about, but go ahead. If it don't fit, don't force it. There's that portion. The other part of it, in the parent company aspect, it'll be uh, and being what it is to be grandfathered in or grandmothered in. Yeah, when you doing generational stuff, right? That's something else that I'm really getting from this. But yeah, so in the emails, text messages of the path of the cycle being complete, and the communications of cycles being complete, there being an adjustment to one's judgment for 8 years. I'm hearing, okay, this it, this all. I got the hoodoo deck out. 8 years, $80, um, $800, $8 million, 800,000. However it is, this is gonna come into place with it, right? With there being the garden. I just heard you know how to read so well. That's what makes you a target. Yeah, it does. It does. It is. The other portion of this, right, with the hoodoo deck, right? Yeah, this is some ancestral shit that will be going on and coming into place. One of the things it was that I saw, right, and uh, in the projection portion, yeah, in short, it was what was projected onto me, opposed to it. You'll know how this goes. It'll be about what will be projected onto a person and them having to enact that. so that someone else knows how to handle the situations. I figured out what I'm gonna do. Yeah, because I'm tired of people projecting onto me what they should do in a situation. You don't get to do that. A part of that would be based out of when with a person knowing what that I have Virgo and Sagittarius in my awareness. What that really means is not about me encountering Virgos and being yeah in the Virgo aspect. It's about the young what one would have done as a young adult in their awareness. I'm not a young adult anymore. In short, I'm not no kid. And you can't compare kids to everyone else. One of the things that was projected that I saw, but it's one of those. I heard it's the intentional confusion. It is. It's the intentional confusion that came into place. Now that originated, right? Uh, with me, I had already stated when it comes to the dating aspect, right? Uh, I don't do a lot of competition with other women. Period. That includes your mama, your daughter, your sister, your cousins. I'm not about to compete with them primarily because the man in my life doesn't have to compete with my dad. He doesn't have to compete with my son. He's in a category all his own. So that's where a lot of people are messing up on the even on the spiritual and energetic sense with breaking whatever needs to be broken in them. So it's that part. The other portion of it is with somebody must have did the or watched the reading talking about backbreaking work that I did that with me being in nursing or being a CNA, right? So there's that. John Horse, but in the hoodoo aspect with the cycle being complete, or in the African American aspect, it'll be the cycle being complete uh, and watering a garden. And then there being this emperor aspect. You got John Horse, Railroad Bill, Son of Baskets, Upright, Five of Coins reverse, Ancestors reverse, Father of Coins, Eight of Sticks. No, that was a statement it was that I made. I made the statement, well, obviously my ancestors really don't like me. Yeah, because everybody else got what they needed, but I didn't get what I needed. And if yeah, and it's about the whole greed aspect and things of that nature. But ultimately, what I'm getting from in this higher knowing aspect when it comes to uh, one's lustful nature and the collecting information for a lustful purpose. It's giving sex magic. Yeah, you'll be amazed how many people it is. And then it was some shit that was going on with that I saw pop up with Donald Trump. And it was one of those yeah, with Donald Trump and it was one of those, okay, yeah, and how Iran keep coming up. Okay, this must be money. He said, can you get to the root of that for me, pretty girl? He's the only person who calls me pretty girl. That's how I could tell. I could tell the difference. He compliments me a lot. Get to the root. I didn't run. I didn't run. Don't tell them lies. Don't tell them lies. Don't tell them lies. I did not run. I was disrespected and I walked away. I was disrespected and I walked away, and it was thought that I wasn't going to catch on to it. Getting down to the root of uh, those situations, yeah, because what this is giving is whoever you're dealing, whatever this situation is for whoever this pertains to, right? I'm going to tell the story. And within me telling the story, I'm hoping that you can find yourself in it, opposed to making it being about me. I'm talking about me because I don't do the gossip thing. I don't talk about what happens with other people. And when I talk about what happens with other people, it typically, yes, it's just the part that I played in it. But what I'm seeing going on for you, right, uh, would be there was a performance that was done. Within the performance being done, it was intended to solidify another person's authority over you through the use of other individuals, while they would remain in a safe space so that you wouldn't be able to go after them. You couldn't put the blame on them because they weren't there. That's something that's been coming up and that's been happening a whole lot. It's one of those, okay, but I will, yeah, but there lies the cowardice that comes into place with it. You right, you weren't there. You gave your bullshit to somebody else because you was too much of a punk to say it. That's what that part boils down to. And what ended up happening in this situation was I processed the information, and within me processing the information, it was at the same time that there was candle magic that was being done. And within the candle magic that was being done, the person who was behind it all knew that it was candle magic being done. And they gave the perception of me being crazy, so to speak. So that's where the fuck up comes into place with a lot of different situations. As time progresses, it turns into I knew who the actual person was that was saying it because I could personally see like puppet strings and all this other shit that was going on. And with me knowing who the actual person was that was stating it, I distanced myself from that actual person and from everybody that was around them. It wasn't, yeah, it was one of those, okay, you the one who really feel this particular way about me. So since you're the one who really feels this way about me, and you couldn't just tell me yourself, right? Me and you couldn't just work stuff. Yeah, we couldn't just talk amongst like adults. In short, that childish ass aspect that'll come into place with things, and how in the childish ideal set, one would believe that it's okay to do the quote unquote telephone thing. And a lot of people have a tendency to play the game of I want you to feel how I want you to feel or see. Yeah, I want you to really feel, because when you use water signs, you want a person to feel it. Yeah, feel that I don't like you. A Virgo slash, and because of the little lion's head thing, he it would come off as Leo essence. He used the Cancer in order to make me feel it, to like really drive it in with the emotion. Now, even in that emotional aspect, it was one of those, I'll get my mama on you. And it's one of those, my mom's dead, so let me get my mama on you too. Basically, is what goes on with the situation. So, in short, pay attention to the way the people it is and who really is saying what in a situation, and what they saying and what's supposed to be private, and whether or not a person has even really talked to you. And sure, when you think a person is your friend but they really not a friend, and you try to introduce yourself to them and let them get to know you for who you are, but they are so gung-ho on tearing you down regardless of how you've helped them, and believe in military aspect. That's not military aspect, that's MK Ultra and mind control aspect. That's something completely fucking different. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I don't tear people down. I will be able to identify what it is that they would need to improve on, but I'm not tearing you down while I do it. A lot of people, now the other thing is people being a glutton for punishment, right? Meaning they like brutal honesty, and they really enjoy the brutality of how honest a person would be. There's a difference between being brutally honest and being uh, direct. I'm direct in what it is that I say on a very regular basis. I'm not brutal about it. Now, if you want me to be brutal, typically I don't deal very well with people who want the brutality in it, because the brutality that you're requiring would require a level of rage from me that I'll be so honest. A person isn't worth. You're not worth that much rage. A person ain't worth me being enraged and pissed off, and you're not worth that. That causes health problems. So it's that part. The other portion of it is with the whole projected issues, projected and projections issues that are coming into place with being an emperor and having forward move this fast movement within there being a friendship, so one wouldn't have to ask for assistance in a rebirth of being financially stable in communications, or being stable in communications. And the divination aspect, in divination, being a man who's in divination versus being a woman in divination. In short, they're doing it for the whole do it for the money aspect. No, because the whole wish fulfillment that it would always go back to is being able to be at home and read cards. Well, when you're at home, you have bills and responsibilities. The bare minimum, exactly. How it's always instituted of the bare minimum. That's why I say, if you don't anchor it, yeah, whatever happens, if you don't anchor it, then by right, you don't deserve it. You making me, in short, when people make the exact same mistakes as somebody else and claim that I'm different from them. You're not any different. You're making the exact same mistake. You're doing the exact same thing. I don't know if people really notice it, right? But me personally, I notice I heard 3 hour days. No, I noticed just about everything can take anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. If it doesn't happen within them 8 to 12 hours, you wasted a whole nother day. You wasted a whole nother day. You put it, and you've allowed something else to come into place to block you. So it's that part. In that regard, the cock blocker no longer is someone outside of you. Now you cock blocking your damn self because you're not taking action. So it's that part. No, because I'm hearing something about mirror magic and seeing some stuff that'll come into place with it. Yeah, that's another manipulation aspect. Overall essence of King of Pentacles with clearing out. Ultimately, and the path of truth, the path of the truth of in the world that one created, the truth of walking away from the burdens of being independent, within one being a star, and there being good news of one's strength in regards to one not being recognized. Okay, so this is the alchemical aspect within income and one being recognized as the financially and emotionally stable as a strategy. The strategy that comes into place with being financially and emotionally stable. Yeah, no, it ain't what it look like. It is what it is. The truth of it. If you know the truth of a situation, oh, and he's been parted on inside one's mind. The King of Pentacles inside one's mind. So yeah, how a person would think, yeah, you in short that you got it. One of the things it was that a sheriff says to me last night. I asked him, I said, do you have a few dollars so that I could get something to eat? Before he sat down, he said, you got it. No, because this is in regards to being the strong friend and all this other shit that comes into place. And when I was walking, I was saying it out loud too. It's one of those, I don't have it. I don't have it. If I don't have it, I just don't fucking have it. I don't have it in 3D. And if I'm asking you for help and you telling me no, but you sitting behind me and you sitting in my essence and you having all these little lustful ass thoughts, that's stealing. In real life, you stealing my essence and then you wondering why all hell is breaking loose on your job. Yeah, because very shortly after that situation, with me asking him for a few dollars, he told me no, which was fine. But then somebody was stealing out of the store. It wouldn't have been nothing for him to say, oh, okay, well, I can get you something to eat then. That's the reason why I don't want to deal with nobody here in St. Louis. I don't give a fuck what their rank is, high, low, no. Because y'all like to play games like that with me, and then y'all wonder why all hell be breaking loose for y'all. I don't want to, and I'm not repeating that same shit in another motherfucking city that I know that this King of Pentacles essence has anchored itself in. In short, my husband, my kingdom husband, the man I'm supposed to be with, he's generous with me. He gives me what I want when I ask for it. He don't make me wait. He don't play no whole bunch of bullshit ass games with me. He don't be like, no, I can't do you right now. I gotta make sure I do this real quick. Nah, he ain't doing all that with me. He's settled and stable. 44, 44 when I said that. That's for me. So other divine feminines, star seeds, earth angels have all the same mentality. You just gonna give it to me. You're not gonna make me. You're not gonna make me beg. Because at this point, that's what it is. You're making me big. And that's childhood won't never, it depends. Because in the whole childhood won't aspect, if you're an entrepreneur, even from childhood, you didn't have to beg. You just went out and got it. In short, a person intentionally crippling you so that you need them, but they don't do what is necessary to provide for you. That's not what a parent does. My no, my mom, she was like that. I love my mom in the form of me respecting her, but I do. Yeah, me and her had big beef when it came to that, and it was because she was in the mindset of believing I was my dad. I wasn't the one who was supposed to be providing for her and making sure that everything was taken care of and partnering and all that. In short, when you're put in a parental role and you're a child. So it's that part. Um, Now, what I will say is what's coming in now, right? Is the world that one created in truth in August, there being a lot of burdens within one being single, independent, uh, being, as I like to call it, the 10th coin, and then there being the healing of good news in one's strength within not being recognized as dirty or sneaky. One of the things is, right, that I've heard people say to me a lot, right? Yeah, is you need to put a bell on. That's what that's about. You need to put a bell on because I can't hear you when you walk around. No, I've had that said to me like all my life. I've always been light footed. I took ballet and everything for crying out loud. So I don't necessarily make noise when I walk. If I'm stumping and stuff, it's more than likely because I'm tired and I'm just trying to hurry up and get to it. Yeah, in short, it's the whole dragging my feet is because I'm tired, I'm hungry, I can't do whatever it is I really want to do in that moment, which will more than likely be I want to eat and I want to go to sleep. When you're an entrepreneur, right? You don't get to eat and yeah, you don't get to eat and sleep on a regular schedule like that. And when you are able to do that, people look at it as you on vacation. When you taking care of yourself, just doing what's best for you, it's one of those, oh yeah, you on vacation, you'll be back to do what I want you to. It's one of those, no, a person won't be back to do what you want them to because you put them in a mindset and a mindset of self-preservation when you yeah and you don't even want to preserve yourself, so you have to preserve yourself. Yeah, I kind of figured that portion. And one of the other things I will say is uh you can't expect for a person to be able to preserve themselves when they don't have the resources necessary to preserve themselves. So in that regard, and what it is when you provide assistance for the ancestors. That's what it was. Providing assistance for the ancestors opposed to providing assistance for, or yeah, providing assistance for the ancestors on behalf of the people in the business because they don't understand, yeah, the totality of contracts and shit like that. So yeah, I'm hoping it helps you guys out just a little bit. I'm gonna summarize and seal and close this reading. In short, the overall essence of it is lust completing the cycle in regards to there being one being financially stable inside one's mind and the strength that comes into place with a person being a lover to be a romantic partner. Yeah, what it is to be a romantic partner. But from what I'm gathering from this and from all the different experiences, y'all don't do good for y'all romantic partners. You make them suffer while you give hoes and shit everything it is that they want. But if they your person, you don't want to provide for them. That's kind of contrary to something that was projected that I saw. No, because I've seen a lot of different projections and stuff. And one of the projections I saw, and I want to say I reposted it a long time ago, or not a long time ago, maybe about a year ago. It's this man. He has his wife. She gets a salary. She has a salary. And within her, and I'm hearing no, 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 no. Within her having a salary, she gets paid for cooking. She gets paid for cleaning. She gets paid for have every time she has a child, she gets a boost in her salary. In short, that's the real, I want to say it's called nepotism that comes into place with generational wealth. Why y'all, it poses the question, why do y'all want to be in relationships for real? That's what that really boils down to. No, this isn't divine masculine because this none of this sounds like what a divine masculine would pay his wife to cook, clean, laundry, all of it. A divine masculine would do that. A distorted masculine would treat his wife like he would treat a servant, which means you in my house already. Yeah, I bought the food, I did this, I did that, I did this. That's enough for you. And the woman would look dirty and unkept, and yeah, she wouldn't be taken care of at all. Yeah, because every time that damn divine masculine thing come up, it's one of those, oh hell no. Lord, are they talking about a minister or what are they talking about? One of the jokes it is, and then I can go ahead and close this out because I think that solidifies it. One of the jokes it is that I heard, or a riddle, actually, it wasn't a joke, it was a riddle that I heard a nice little minute ago is you have a set of neighbors. Within having neighbors or options to buy a house, you have one house that you can be a neighbor to where it's a single woman. You have another house that you can be a neighbor to, and it'll be a single man. You have another neighbor that you could have, and it would be a minister and his wife. And then you have the last neighbor, right, who has, it's a husband and wife, and they have 3 children. Okay? Which one would you choose? I'm going to leave a little bit of space in this moment so you can make your choice. And then I'll tell you what it is you would have chose. All right. So by now you should have made your choice, right? If you chose a single woman to live next to, she's a serial killer. If you chose a single man to live next to, he's a serial rapist. If you chose the minister and his wife, they're extremists and they're cannibalists. If you chose the husband and wife with 3 children. All of their children are grown and they are retired. So I hope that helps you guys out just a little bit. Gives you a tad bit of an inclination as a few things it is that will be going on. I'm going to close and seal the information into this reading. Hopefully, it'll help you guys out just a little bit. Gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you'd like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, you're more than welcome to do so at lightworkllc@gmail.com. Yeah, and I rebuke any redoing of this information at the lowest capacity. All right, light and love to y'all. Okay, cause see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It is not light work, and that's why you have to stay light while you work.